Today the lesson we're talking about is adding and subtracting integers using the rules. The classwork is on page 4 and 5 in the homework packet. We're going to do a warm-up, which is reducing fractions and changing from mixed to improper. When you are reducing fractions, the first thing you need to do is determine if there are any common factors. 18 and 24 can both be divided by 6. That's the greatest common factor. So if you do this, 18 divided by 6 is 3. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Now, let's pretend you said to yourself, okay, so I think that they're divisible by 2. You're right. You can divide them both by 2. And you'll have 9 over 12. That's not what we call in the lowest terms, because 9 and 12 can also be both divided by 3. So you need to divide by 3, and you end up with 3/4. So if you find the greatest common factor, which in this case is 6, and do that right away, you'll get to the lowest terms right away. If not, you need to keep going until it's completely reduced. 25 and 35 can both be divided by 5. So you'll have 5, 6. And that is what we call lowest terms. 42 and 48 can both be divided by 6. And I will get what? 7, 8. All right. These are mixed numbers, and we want to be able to go to improper. When you're doing mixed to improper, you're going to multiply 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13, so 13 thirds. 4 times 3 plus 1. And keep the denominator. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12 fifths. Because think about it, you have 2 and 2 fifths. This 2 is 10 fifths. All right, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15 fourths. That is mixed to improper. Last thing we're going to review here is going from improper to mixed. You can do this mentally, or you might need to set up a division problem. This is 17 divided by 5. 5 goes into 17 3 times. That's 15. So our remainder is 2. So, as a mixed number, the whole number is 3. Remainder is 2 out of 5. Denominator stays the same. This one. How many times does 3 go into 14? It goes in 4 times. That's 12. Subtract to get 2. So, this is 4 and 2 thirds. 9 and 30. First thing I recognize is that I can divide these both by 3 to simplify. So that'll be 10 thirds. Now, 10 divided by 3. 3 goes into 10 3 times. That's 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. So my mixed number is 3 and 1/3. All right. Now, on to integers adding with the rule. So, rule number 1, if the signs are the same, so same sign, you add the numbers and keep the sign. For example, -5 plus -3 is -8. Think about it this way. You owe somebody $5 and you owe them 3. Don't you ultimately owe them 8? This one, 5 plus 3, they're both positive. So you add and keep the sign. 5 plus 3 is positive. Rule number 2. If the signs are different, you find the difference, which means you subtract the numbers and take the sign of the larger number. So, if we add -7 plus 3, they are different. It's addition. So 7 minus 3 is 4, and you take the sign of the larger, so -7, or -4, sorry. 14 plus -8, they are different, so I subtract, and I get 6, and it's going to be +6, because that's the bigger number. So, if they are the same, you add and keep the sign. If they are different, you subtract and take the sign of the larger number. Now, here we go. Let's do some practice. -7 plus -3, they're the same, so I add and keep the sign, -10. 8 plus -4, they are different, so I subtract and take the sign of larger. 8 plus -2, they're different, so I subtract, and it's going to be +6, because I take the larger. Negative 9 plus negative 10, they are the same, so I add and keep the sign, negative 19. Negative 4 plus negative 5 is negative 9. Let's do number 8. We'll jump down to number 8 and then we'll move on. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2 because they are different. You subtract and take the sign larger. All right, now let's move on to subtraction. Subtraction. You're going to follow these rules. You never touch the first number. The first number stays the same. Then we change subtraction to addition. That's the opposite. And then the opposite of the second number. We said we add the opposite. I like to say, write this down, make 2 marks. You are always going to do this. Make 2 marks. So, if I'm doing this first problem, 8 minus 13. So the first thing I say is, oh, it's subtraction. So I need to change it to add the opposite. We make 2 marks. So I change the subtraction to adding. And then what's the opposite of positive 13? It's negative 13. So 8 plus negative 13, they are different. So I subtract and take the sign larger. Because once I make my 2 marks, it is an addition problem. So I follow the same rules as addition. All right, let's look at this one. Negative 10 minus 7. Change it to add the opposite. The opposite of positive 7 is negative 7. Look, I made 2 marks. Add the opposite. Now, it's an addition problem. Negative 10 plus negative 7 is negative 17. Add and keep the sign. Okay, here we go. 1 minus negative 2. You never touch the first number. Change subtraction to addition. That's my first mark. This is negative 2, so the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2. You add the opposite. Make 2 marks. So now look at the problem. 1 plus 2 is last one. Negative 10 minus negative 7. Change it to add. The opposite of negative 7 is positive 7. There's my 2 marks. Add the opposite. Now it's an addition problem. So follow our rule of addition. Negative 10 plus 7, they are different. So I subtract and take the sign larger.